Hi guys, Henry Horror here from the Inertia Channel. With me always is my co-host, Mr. Johnny Noyes.
Hey guys, we have a really special guest. We've put a lot of efforts on all of us to make this happen. And gonna let Henry do the introductions.
All right.
Wait, I had to turn the fan off. The
Okay,
fan was too
okay.
noisy. I had to turn
Okay.
the fan off.
Okay.
I'm back.
All
All right.
right.
Take
It's
two.
all right. This is all casual. So our
Okay.
our guest tonight has worked with directors such as Brian De Palma and Wes Craven, and she's worked with actors such as Michael Berryman and Robert Englund. We would like to welcome Miss Janus Blythe to the show.
Hello, San Antonio. And I'm coming
Hello.
your way real soon.
Oh yes, the Mockingbird Lane show.
Yeah,
It'll
convention.
be March 27th through the 29th at the Hilton Garden Inn in Live Oak. The
Yep.
address is going to be 8101 Pat Booker Road, San Antonio, Texas 78233. For
But
those
you're
of
going to
you that
insert
want,
that information, aren't you?
yes,
When you
yeah,
edit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's going to be a real special show. She's
yes, all will be
everybody,
revealed.
all her guests, she's doing a theme at their tables that represents them. I'm going to have a giant rattlesnake belt around my table.
Oh
It's
my
going to be
gosh.
really
Wow.
something. And
Yeah,
Michael
that sounds
Berryman's
cool.
joining me. He's going to be there too.
Yes, the guests that they keep announcing just keep getting better. I bought my tickets a few months ago, and I just
Yeah.
found out that Dr. Chud of the Misfits is going to be there, uh, and also they just announced that Lee Ving from the punk rock band Fear is going to be there too. And I
Oh,
was
this is
like,
her first show.
wow.
This is her first. She's done a lot of these shows, but this is her first solo show. Cindy Mancini. This is her first one, and I love
Wow.
kicking off her first show on her own.
Awesome, awesome. So
I'm
got a
going to push
little
her down. Oh, okay.
okay.
10 pounds gets heavy, I swear. Okay.
Uh, there goes the star. She's a star, all right.
Yeah.
He's a star.
So,
Yes.
so let's So how did you get into acting?
That's a big question. That's a really. That's not a 5 sentence answer. It's just I was born wanting to act. We had family photos. You take the family and you would have mom and dad and the kids and they say look this way, and everybody looks that way and take pictures and you had that portrait. Everyone's looking that way. Guess where I'm looking? At the camera every time, directly
Oh
at the
wow.
camera, and they printed it too. And I have those. Me looking at the camera and everybody else looking that way, and I always pulled mom to anything that was entertainment, like the Easter show with the little Easter outfits. I got my little outfit on. I'm on stage, and my mother's doing this to me. I'm going, oh, she wants me to turn. So I start doing little pirouettes. She wanted me to. My number was hanging from my wrist, and it was hidden. So she wanted me to move it. Instead, I'm doing doing little circles, but I didn't win that. But I went on Popeye when I was a little kid. We had the squiggle contest, and he told me the only reason I didn't win is because the other guy knew how to shade, and I didn't know how to shade. Do you remember the squiggle con? They used to make a squiggle, and you had to make something out of it, and it was on TV. Yeah, so I did that. That was my very first TV performance.
Oh
Popeye.
wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and my mother threw me in dance class at age 3 because she said, "What am I going to do with this child and all that energy?" So it was the best thing she ever did for me, and I stayed in dance class my whole life. And a lot of my work came out of my dance, so it was a wonderful thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So
Yeah.
you were born to do this then from day one. It
Yes, my
sounds like.
cousin said when I would visit him in Boston, my parents would ship me out of LA because it would get me away from the people I was hanging out with. But when I was real little, we went to see them. They came to see me, and he said I told them when I was like 3 or 5 years old, telling him I'm going to be an actress. I don't remember this, but he does. that I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I didn't even know what that was.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
You just know that it's in your blood, or it just.
It
My
is.
mother wanted to be a model, and she never got to do that. But I've got photographs of her. I'm going to post. Did you see the one that I posted of her holding that big snake? I got a
Yes.
picture of my mother holding a
Yeah,
big boa
yeah.
snake that I found,
Oh my
and I said,
God.
"My mother holding a snake." I couldn't believe it, and it was a boa. I found out, and then I posted that with me, then my snake and her snake together. Yeah, but she's got a lot of pictures that she was posing in, and yeah, I was born in Los Angeles, second generation.
That
It was
is
Yeah.
just meant to
awesome.
be. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That is awesome. Um, so how did you get the part in The Phantom of the Paradise with and Brian De Palma directed that movie, correct?
Yeah, it was Gino Havens was involved in casting, and he would bring me. He goes, "I don't know if you can act your way out of a brown paper bag, but you got a nice quality. So let's read." That was Gino Havens, and
Oh God.
he got me Beretta, and he got me Phantom of Paradise, and he got me some Centerfold Girls. It was all through him. Yeah, Gino Havens, and that's how I got to the part. And Brian De Palma came up to me, and he talked to every single person. To him, there was no small parts. He talked to every single actor on the, and made sure it's to make sure it's who he wanted. He really cast that film, every single inch of it. Sometimes they go, "I don't care, just cast anybody you want in that little part." Well, no, he was really particular, and he was wonderful, and that's how I got that. And I met Paul Williams, of course,
Hmm.
and I told him I don't know his music, and he gave me all his albums.
Oh
He had his
wow.
driver go get them and come back with them. Yeah, yeah, and
Wow.
he's still
Wow.
around too.
Oh yeah, Paul Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should do a convention with him because I didn't know that he was out there doing conventions. I haven't seen
Yeah.
him at one, so we should do one together. But this time, I told Cindy that I want top billing because I didn't know about billing. I mostly got all the movie parts myself, so I didn't know you had to negotiate that stuff. So I said, I don't want Pluto and Ruby. I want Ruby and Pluto. I want Janice and Michael. So she made sure all the advertising for Mockingbird Lane is that way. Finally get billing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you notice that the foreign posters, Japan, Australia, Germany, all have me on the posters. But the American posters, I'm on the inside cover or the back. But it's amazing. Yeah, like Melting Man, I'm on the Japanese one. Germany, this is Germany over. Can you see this one over? That's Germany. That's
Oh
Germany.
yes, yes,
Eaten
yes,
Alive. Yeah,
yes.
and all of them. The Hills Have Eyes. Australia has me on there with Michael.
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, because they can do what they want. They even change the names of the movies a lot too.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this is Blood. Eaten Alive is Bloodbath in German.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's what they
okay.
call it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed that. Yeah, that it'll be called something here in the states, and movies will be called something here in the states, and then you take it to the overseas, and they'll
Yep.
title it a different title and stuff like
I
that.
like to have a contest. How many names do you think Eaten Alive had? A
Oh wow.
lot. And that was just here. From Slaughterhouse. I mean, it had so many names before it became Eaten Alive.
Wow.
wow.
just in the United States, yeah. And I've got posters of some of the old names. Do I have one here? I don't know if I have one here. Oh yeah, Legend of the Bayou for Eaten Alive.
Legend of the
That's
Bayou.
yeah. That's just, here we go. Look, can you see it?
Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
Legend of the
Definitely.
Bayou. That's Eaten Alive. I mean, it had so many names,
Wow.
Wow.
and
Wow.
that's not
Wow.
foreign. That's here.
Yeah, we did an episode not too long ago about Joe Ball, the guy that story is
Yes.
based off of.
Yeah, we did.
We did
Yeah.
like a special Halloween episode on the difference between the legend and the actual fact of what happened and
I
stuff.
posted that on my page. I posted about that
Yeah,
myself, and a fan sent me a picture of his gravesite. He went to
yeah,
look for the motel, but it's not there anymore. Just the grave. Was that you?
it
Somebody
was
sent
me.
me a picture of his grave. Was it
It
you?
was me. Yeah, I
It
grew
It
was
up
was
me.
out
you?
in yeah, it was me. I grew
Yep,
up
I
out
have
in
that. I
Elmendorf.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up out in Elmendorf, and the concrete pool is there somewhere too. The sociable inn that had the concrete pool with the alligators in the background, in the back of it, in the back patio. That concrete shallow pool is still there somewhere, but the
I like the
sociable inn
moat
isn't.
better. I like the idea of the moat better than a concrete pool in the back.
Oh
I like
yeah,
the moat
Yeah.
that he did in the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
moat
A
was
theatrical
definitely.
license, they call it. You know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
the moat was very
Wow.
definitely very scary in that
And they
movie.
weren't alligators; they were crocodiles. And there's a difference.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
there are. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yep.
So
Yeah.
when you're preparing for a role, you get ready to shoot. Let's say you get ready to shoot a scene. Is there something that you do like personally to get ready to shoot that scene? Some people that have like a little, I won't say ritual, but something they do prior to kind of keep you on point when you're
Well,
ready to.
I'll tell you this one: The Incredible Melting Man. Um,
Yes.
when he saw he was a friend of Wes Craven, and he was watching they were cutting the footage, and he said, I want her for my movie. Now I don't know how he saw Ruby in the part of the Melting Man of Lynette, who with a monster and cut off his arm and all that, but he cast me in that role. And the day of shooting, do you know who played my boyfriend in that role, by the way? Very famous director.
Isn't he
Wasn't
the
famous
guy?
then.
Isn't he? Didn't he direct? I forget. His name escapes me right now. But didn't he go on
It'll
to
come to you.
direct? Uh, didn't
Who?
he go on to direct Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, he's a big. He wasn't a big director when he was my boyfriend, who got eaten, or not eaten, the wrong movie, when he got killed by the monster. But anyways, we come home in the truck and we
Yeah,
walk up the steps, and he says, "Stay out here," and he goes in. He never comes back out, and I go in. Well, that scene, we're walking through, and Bill Sachs kept saying, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for the part?" And I said, "I don't know." "What do you mean you don't know?" I said, "I don't know yet." He was really getting upset, nervous about that. And I said, "But I'll tell you something. There's some tension on this set. What's going on?" He says, "Well, we're running late. It's supposed to be a meal break. Everyone is on edge. There have been some problems today." And I said, "I can feel it. How about we do this? Let's walk through for camera. You guys break, go eat, fill up your bellies. I'm going to lock myself in this closet here, and I'm going to be in that closet until you come back." And I worked myself up into that frenzy, because if I went and chit chatted and ate, I would have a hard time getting to that level of hysteria that I did in that scene.
Wow.
So I
Right.
stayed in the closet to answer your question, because that's how I knew I could stay. And I worked and it was like a half hour or more. They take a break and they come back, and then he goes, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "Just do it. Roll camera." And we rolled camera, and I'm supposed to back up, and my arm's supposed to go after I chop his arm off. I'm supposed to put my hand through the candy glass there, and it wouldn't break. But then I just shrink down in the corner and get hysteria. There was supposed to be a second scene, or it became catatonic. And so I shrink down to the floor, and I'm thinking, okay, cut already, And I finally go, well, everyone just froze, because I really worked it. I really worked that scene.
yes.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
really proud of
I,
that scene. That was high emotions.
I was going to say because I was watching that the other day, and I was noticing they never actually show what happens to him. You can hear what's happening to him,
He
but
melts,
you're
and they brush him up in a with a broom and a dustpan. That's
yeah
him at the
they
end, and
but they never
it's
show
supposed to be a
what
spoof.
yeah they never show what happens to your boyfriend in that scene though.
Oh
You
no,
can hear you can hear what's happening to him, but your
yeah,
reaction to it is what sells that scene, that whole scene.
yeah.
And I
And
was
Right.
see,
just
Right.
like,
now here's
but
Japanese. have me on the poster for The Melting Man, but not in America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
Wow.
that's okay. Oh, now Coco, be quiet. Okay, woof to you too. Okay.
Alrighty.
So to answer your question, Johnny, I when I was taking an acting class, and I can access my emotions when it's not my own words, and the words are somebody else's, and I can access my emotions really easily. But I have to get myself really quiet. I take a lot of deep breaths, and I just work myself up into my own little state, and then start.
Mhm.
So
Right. Okay.
my acting coach, Charles Conrad, a big acting coach out here, had me discuss this with the whole class, how I do this. And I said, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. It's my own personal little process, It's like I decided to lock myself in the closet because if I was, like I said, chit-chatting and having food, I would have a hard time getting up that level. So, mostly, I mean, if I look, okay, Robert Blake and Beretta, I was told that he changes the lines a lot. So don't marry the script. Read it, but don't get word for word. And he had to come in and approve me to even get the part. And he comes in, looks me up, and I'm like, okay. And he gives me. And so the first scene we do, and I got my beautiful brand new leather bound with my name on it, script holder. And I'm looking at the lines, and he goes, and I miss a line. He goes, "What's the matter? You're doing so many shows. You don't have your lines memorized?" And I said, "Well, they change around here so quickly. I was told not to bother." And he went, "Oh, okay." And we got along because he was known for torturing the female actresses. He would keep them there all day when they were done, just make them stay there all day. But he wasn't mean to me because I
Wow.
just stood up for myself, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be spontaneous. You got to be able to go with the flow. You can't, but it has to be this way. You can't do that. You have a lot of improv goes into your work.
Right. Well,
Awesome.
sometimes the improvisation is like some of the best scenes.
Yes, because and the directors
Not.
depend on good actors because they become that part, and they go, you know what? I think I would really say this. Like Gil Gerard gave me a line in Soldiers of Fortune, when I shoot the bad guy. That's for sis. He said this is a better line, and so we went with that. Yeah, you depend on your actors. Not the writer might get upset. Don't change my words, but they know too that it's just it's a base. It's a base, but you got to be flexible.
Right.
And like you're right, a lot of the spontaneous improv lines are become okay. I'm Buck and I'm here to fuck. That came out the day as shoot. That wasn't in the script. Robert Englund made that line up that day, and it's a famous line. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Like Robin Williams was famous for that improvisation and a lot of stuff.
Well, God, yes.
I mean,
yes.
you could have, first of all, you probably could not control him, but besides that, but I heard that there was a lot of times where they had to reel him back in and said, "Let's shoot this again. You went off the rails here," because once he got going, it was over, But
yeah, he was a different kind of he was such a talent, such a loss for him
to I agree.
Go out
the way he did.
Agree. But I spent 6 years with the improv group in Hollywood. We performed all around Hollywood at the Comedy Store. And to a crowd of one person, if that's all that was there. Improv is not easy to do on stage. It's not. But it's really good tool to have.
Right.
I recommend for every actor who's watching this who wants to be an actor, you got to do improv.
Got to do improv. Well, I think it's like anything else too. You got to get out there. You have to get out there and
I crashed all the interviews.
Yeah, and take your lumps and get out there and get in front of people. I think that's.
Well, how do I start? I go just find anything that has a camera and someone shooting something, and volunteer, be there, do it. When I started out as a non-union extra, to answer your very first question, how did I start? So after Popeye, I did non-union extra work in the beginning, and instead of sitting down eating and smoking cigarettes like all the extras were doing, I was in the room they were setting up camera with. So I was watching everything, and they'd say, go dressed as a tourist in Mexico. I went dressed as a Mexican instead, You got to think
Wow.
outside the
Yeah.
box. And I'm standing there, and I just lost his name. Floyd Mutrex was the director, and he goes, "I need someone to like get up on the bar and dance." He goes, "And can you dance?" Can I dance? I grew up in dance. I was like, okay, and that's why I got that part, because you have to be willing and able and open and learn and take anything that's offered to you, and you're not above it. You're just not above it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I got this another non-union film, and I was a gang member of this all-girl gang member. And I would realize this. I had a straight job. I worked downtown LA in the clothing mart, selling, wholesale, and my little
Yeah.
suits and everything. And I got this, and I went to an acting class, and he was really big on when you do his acting class, you can get dressed with his costumes, and you can do all the costumes, and then he non-union extra work. You got to get out there, got any experience. So I did this little movie, and he goes, "Okay, all of you, we need someone to be able to stay past today. And so those of you who can't stay, move to your left, and those of you who can stay where you are." And I'm going, "Janus, move your feet. You have a job. You have a job you have to show up for." And my feet wouldn't move. And he goes, "You." And I quit my job. And I
Wow.
got, it was
Okay.
called
Okay.
Policewoman. It was called Policewoman. And I have me in my little karate chop pose in my little bathing suit with a little tie thing on. I have pictures of that. Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my
Yeah.
God.
Policewoman. Yeah. And
Policewoman.
then from there,
Wow. Wow.
just, went from there. That's how
That's
I started. You
awesome.
got to be willing, be out there, be available.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah, I mean,
go.
if you
Yeah.
only have stage where you live, to do that. Whatever you have.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go for it. You got to go out there and take that chance.
Yep.
In
Yeah. I
school these
agree.
days, they got wonderful classes they get to choose from. My little niece gets to take video editing and photography and all this great stuff that
Mhm.
they didn't have. I had dance class. I took dance class all through school, but they didn't have all that great stuff. Editing and things like that. That's wonderful. You have opportunities today,
Oh yeah.
to
Well,
do a lot of
sure.
stuff.
Sure.
And social media, wow, if that was around when I started, because you can show
Hmm.
all the songs. Because I'm a chameleon. You guys have known my films. I change
Yes.
to become the part. I just do. Robert Keljan, when he brought me in to read for Black Oak Conspiracy, and Jesse Vint was the producer, and he was the main actor. He didn't think I was right for it. He goes, "Just let her go home and change." He goes, "Take the script, go home, come back." So I take the script, I go home. It was nearby, and I call an actor friend who fit the other part. Redhead with freckles. I said, "You want to come over and go back with me and read?" And so I put on my suspenders and my little hick outfit, and I go walk back in, and whoa! And they cast both of us because it was perfect.
Wow.
But you have to
Okay.
give. I'm the kind of person you have to give I'm a chameleon. If you just look, we had the Academy Directory. It was a big, thick paper book, once a year, and you got one photo in there and your contact for your agent, and that was it. And that's how people would flip and go, "Okay, Paul, and they don't know your other sides, they don't know your other characters, they don't know your other looks," and that's not easy today. Wow, today on that social media and the stuff you can post, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I have more fans today than I've had my whole life. Kids, I call them kids now, in their 20s, 30s, love the 70s and 80s movies, big time.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I have
Oh
over
yeah.
1,000 people I've given out stickers to just here where I live in the small town of Palm Springs, California. It's like, I always say, "Do you like horror films?" And they'll say yes or no, and mostly 90% say yes. And if they say no, I say, "But you have a friend or a family member who does, don't you?" And they go, "Yes." And I had these 5x7 stickers with Ruby holding her snake that
Oh
I give
yeah.
out.
Wow. Wow.
And
Yeah.
along with the pink slip that you have to promise to go to my fan page, and you have to like and follow. So I hand those out, but people flip out. I go, "Okay, let me give this to you." They go, "No way, you're her." Because I don't look like Ruby, I don't look like her with my wild hair. You should see what I look like. I got the before and after. I had a little bob. I got
Yeah.
the Ruby outfit on, but my hair, I have my little bob.
I've
And they had to
seen
put that
that
wig on
picture.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wes Craven kept saying,
So
she's still too pretty. Get down in the dirt and roll around. So I laid down in the desert dirt and I'm rolling around. He goes, still too pretty. Black out her teeth. So they blacked out my teeth
Oh my God.
for that part of Ruby.
you're
I love
all
that
done
part.
up, Ruby.
Yeah,
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 well,
yeah.
yeah. Trying to get away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's like one of my favorite lines in that movie is you're all wait a minute, you're all done up, Ruby.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ruby, so um you played the part of Ruby in The Hills Have Eyes. I always say that Ruby was the gem of the desert. Um so tell us, I mean there's so much you could tell us about that movie, but uh tell us how you got the part for that one, because I think that's a story in itself right there.
Well, I was at Schwab's. It was a drugstore on Sunset Boulevard. That famous people from the industry for years, since the 30s, would go there because it's not just a drugstore; it had a diner too. And they would go there and they would just hobnob and share. And it was still there many years after that. And the current at the time in the 70s, actors would go there, have their coffee, read their Hollywood Reporter, bullshit and chit chat, and I would stop by once in a while, see if anybody was there I could talk to. And one day I did. It was Michael Pataki, an actor friend, and he said, "You know what? They're shooting a movie down the street. They're casting it. Why don't you go down there and check it out?" Now I know this. I was part of the Me Too era, and that was really, really difficult time. As a female actress, that was so difficult. And I'm because there's casting, and I drive down there, and I go. It's a house. I'm going. Oh yeah, right. They're casting a movie. It's a house. And I walk up, and this guy, big guy, 15 little dogs, barking at me at the door. I'm going, a movie, and he goes, no, not here. It's down there in Sunset Plaza. I went, oh, okay. So I drove down Sunset Plaza, down the hill, parked my car. I did not have an appointment. I just crashed the interview. And it was Wes Craven and Peter Locke. And I walked in and I just said, so what you doing? And they gave me a script. They just talked to me and they said, take it home. We want you to read for Lynn. Lynn was the part that Dee Wallace played.
Yes.
And come back tomorrow and we'll do that. I said, okay. I had to know anything about it and took a script home and I read it and I went, I'm Ruby. I got to be Ruby. Ruby didn't have hardly any lines, but I'm Ruby. And I go back and they go, so? I said, I'm Ruby. No, we've got somebody in mind for that. I said, no, I'm Ruby. That's my part. And I wouldn't let go of that, because that was a nice part that Dee Wallace played. It wasn't a bad part or anything, just that I was Ruby. That was mine. It had to be me. So he can't, there's no lines to read, really. So he says, got 4 girls here. Went outside, took us down to the parking lot, and stand there, him and Peter Locke, and he goes, I want you to run down, touch that pole, and run back. Because, reading the script, it was a very physical part. And sometimes females run kind of funny. So I know, and I went, I got this, because I was at the top of my game. I ran 3 to 6 miles in the morning. I went to the gym in the afternoon and danced classics. And then I did roller skating on the weekends. I was, top of my game. So he goes, 1, go. And everybody goes and I don't move. I stand there and they both look at each other and they look at me like, what the, and I'm going. And I just took off, bypassed everyone, hit the mark, came back, turned around, ran backwards and came back. He said, okay. And he cast me right there, told the girls right there that I got the part. And one actress came up to him. He told me, he said, you're going to regret this. But he didn't.
No, no not at all.
He didn't. Nope. But that was my part. I wanted that part. And that was I'm so glad. And he wrote Hills 2 for Michael and I. And I wanted a part 3 so bad. And he went on to do so many other big movies that, And then the remake was kind of like not very good.
Yeah.
His son locked himself in a hotel room for the whole weekend until they came out with a script. That's what he told me. They weren't going to come out that door until they had a script. That's how they wrote it.
Wow.
They changed it. It was different. It started out identical. with the trailer and Grandpa and everything was identical, and then it went off the rails. And there, Ruby's
Yeah.
part wasn't even in there hardly. You see some girl who runs by in a red cape.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And Wes was known for having very strong female heroines in his movies, so I was surprised at that. He
Yeah.
always had strong female. Yeah. That she just like flew by.
Yeah.
But I was glad
People.
because I was at first, how dare they remake The Hills? And now I'm glad they did because they made the name more current. People know it much, because 2006 when it came out, and they know the movie, and they go, "I'm an original movie." Oh, okay. So it only helped us, and all the fans came up to Michael and I go, "Oh, we like you so much more. Oh, we like your movie more." So it was a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Not
People
bad.
ask. People
Johnny, what do
often
you have
ask.
anything to say? Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anything you want to
go
ask?
ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that usually, I would say a sequel or a second or third shooting of a movie, it's very rare that it's going to be as good as the original. 'Cause there's always,
I know.
I mean, it's
Remakes
very
are
tough.
hard.
It makes it hard. Now
It does.
you look at Godfather Part 1 or Part 2. That's pretty close to being. They were different. They were kind of different movies, but I think they were received equally. But there's a lot of films where they do a Part 2. You're like, okay.
They say there are no new scripts. That's why they always remake things. There are no new stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is the lighting okay? I just realized that my ring light's not on. Am I okay for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighting?
You're
I
fine.
can see you fine.
Okay, it's just natural lighting in the room because I just realized my light's not on. Okay.
No, you're fine.
It looks great. Looks great.
It's not plugged in or what? I don't know.
Yep. People
So
often.
yeah, no, I mean, remakes can be
sorry.
difficult, and I don't know. I've never done a remake, so
Yeah. It's a rarity where someone remake, and they've done so many of them over and over and over and over again. And
because there are no
how
new
many
stories.
times-
There's no
How
new
many times can you
stories.
do this? Right.
Yeah.
You have to go back to the original, the conception of the project or the idea, and so for me anyway, sometimes it just doesn't work. It just doesn't
There's a
work.
movie of The Hills Have Eyes that was redone, and I didn't know at the time. I'm watching this horror film, and I said, "That's our story, but it's really updated." And I said, "It's really good." And at the very end, it thanked Wes Craven and The Hills Have Eyes, and the name of the movie went off my okay, I went blank. But it was a good remake. It was well done.
Okay.
It was upscaled of what we did. It wasn't different,
Okay, cool.
You can't think of you don't know what I'm talking about?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, not off the top of my head.
No.
Okay.
I can't.
But
Anyway,
people,
that was a good one.
yeah, people often ask me which do I prefer, and I prefer the original two compared to the remakes. It's just, and they're like,
Most
oh,
fans
but the
come up and tell
remake,
me that.
but the remakes have, the CGI. I was like, no, I prefer the practical effects.
That's why everybody loves the 70s and 80s movies because you know what? They're getting numb from the movies they make now. Kill, slash, blood, dead. There's no tension. There's no build up. You remember the parakeet scene in The Hills Have Eyes when he bites the head off the parakeet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me sick. When I saw that, and we had a screening, and I went, ew! I was like, ew! Today that wouldn't even faze anybody because they're so used to so much. That's why they like the 70s and 80s movies.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think people are so bombarded, between social media and then they got 1,000 channels, 1,000+ channels on their TV, and so that excitement, back I don't know when I was growing up, the excitement of going to a movie, before we even had HBO. The old clicker slider thing when you had HBO back in the 1980, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, before that, it was you had to go to a theater to experience a movie. So
I like the black and white. I like Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yeah,
the black and whites.
Yeah, and it takes.
I get you.
Yeah.
And there's some horror films that are really good, and like the ballerina vampire one that's out. That's an amazing film. This little girl's a ballerina and she's a vampire. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. No,
she's amazing in it, and she and the father gets people there on a ruse. They think they're going to go there for another reason, but they're there for her dinner, and then it's her. She gets to chase them, and it's amazing. She's a young girl. You seen it?
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
No.
And then there's another vampire one that's made in Germany, and I was watching a movie, and I see myself in the part. Right. I just naturally start becoming. Would I do that? And this woman in this German vampire movie who had a child, and she had to protect her child, and maternal instincts would come out, but yet she was a vampire. She had all these conflicts. It was amazing what she did with the role. It's called Bloody Sunday. Oh, it's really German movie, but English. Yeah, really good one. There are some really good ones out there, but I don't watch it. You ask me, I don't watch a lot of horror films.
Wow.
But I like them now.
Yeah, of course.
At the time, I asked you, Johnny, about getting parts. I was offered, TNA roles. Take a shower, some guy's peeking at you through a little hole in the wall or whatever. And there's no acting in that. And then these horror films come up. Now, Ruby, that's a lot of, if I was not believable in that role, that movie would have failed.
Right.
You would have been a joke.
Oh,
and so that is to me a challenge, Melting Man, same thing. Although it was a spoof and he didn't want me to know that it was a spoof. He wanted me to play it for real, and I did. But, I got to be committed to it and believe it. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched a movie recently of a famous actor, and I won't say who. And he's done so many movies. He's so famous now that he just smiled through the movie. He walked through. He could have phoned it in. He didn't change his character. He didn't change his face. For the whole movie, it was just him. It was like nothing. But in the day when he was struggling and starving and needed work and all that, he dug deep and brought a lot of stuff to his parts. But now he just smiles and he walks through the movie, and I'm going, oh, he's good looking, but where's the depth? Where's the character? Where's the conflict? Where's something? Got too easy for him. Challenge. So horror movies are challenging. Not all of them.
Yeah.
It can be. Drive-In Massacre. Sure. That's my part. I'm the one hanging out the door. And Drive-In Massacre.
Yes, the Drive-In Massacre. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I actually snapped that was you at the very beginning. I said, "Oh, I gotta watch this." Yeah.
It was a non-union film, and I did it, and I'm not supposed to. I was union under another name. They still discovered it was me. It was on my resume on IMDb. I'm going, I couldn't even fake my name, So, but then he ended up using me on the poster, hanging out the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that poster.
Drive-in B movie,
Yeah. Wow.
For sure.
So.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Oh. I was just going to ask, with all the stuff that you have done, all the roles that you've played, you look back on that, and is there something that really sticks out in your mind to say, this is one of my most fulfilling roles, to you personally? Not forget the screens, like you left that shooting.
Well, obviously I've been telling you how Ruby was to me, and Ruby is to me. And still is.
So okay,
to me.
Still is. Okay.
Yeah, and then I did a part that unfortunately it got shelved because the producer got in a major car accident. But I played 82nd Airborne, and I was the only female in an all-male mercenary team. and my name is Alex. So they thought a guy was going to show up, and I show up.
And you showed up.
And so I loved that challenge because, they can't be too hard because then you're going to come off too butch, and everybody said, you're handling this. I wrote this part with Sigourney Weaver in mind, that's how he wrote it. He told me, he said, but you nailed it. I love that part because that was being strong and a female with guns and all that, but not crossing that line of being too manly, too tough. I did that. And then Melting Man. I mean, they're all been challenging. I loved Lynette and Eaten Alive. I'm just a little prick teaser, aren't I? Just, teasing all those boys.
Yeah.
Is that a strawberry soda pop she's drinking there? The sheriff. The guy that played the sheriff was awesome. Also in that movie.
Stu Whitman.
Yes.
Goes, you know what? I usually don't like red lipstick on actresses, but it looks good on you. So, okay, thank you. And Judd in Eaten Alive. Why am I having his name blanks today? He played the guy who owned the hotel. The actor.
Oh, come on. You just knew it.
Him. Neville Brand.
There you go. Yes.
Neville Brand asked a question about character. He stayed in character on and off camera, and we were not supposed to talk to him because he didn't want to ever break character. So that's how some actors do it. He just stayed that character when he was in his, when he was just breaking and everything. He just was idolized. He stayed by himself. And I thought he was so underrated. I thought he was so good in that part. I thought he really did amazing part job with that. I watched it recently and I said, you know what? That's a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah.
They got it banned here for a long time. Couldn't play here because they added. They added sex scene. They added Robert Englund inserting his penis in me, and he said, "That's not me," and I said, "That's not me either." And they did that, and it got banned in the U.S. until they had to edit it. How can they do that legally? It just blows me away how they can add a scene like that and it's not be us, just. And Michael, he goes, "Yep." I mean, Robert goes, "Yep, that's not my dick." Okay.
Wow.
I never knew that about that movie. I know it got banned, but I didn't know that was the reason why. But
yes, they started throwing more sex into it, which was not in the script, and that's why they had a problem with Toby Hooper and the producer who walked off the set the day before my big scene, and Marty Rustin walks in, and I had this big scene with Robert Englund, and he goes, "I'm going to be directing this." I'm going, "Oh my, oh no." He was just a producer. He had no directing background or nothing. And I'm going, I got to go with it. And that's why, do you remember in the scene, you see a 35-foot tit on the screen?
Yes.
That's him. He put that camera in there, and I go, "Oh no!" I'm watching the movie. I'm going, "Oh well, famous booby up there." But because he wanted more sex into it, and Toby Hooper didn't. It's hard to mix sex and violence. You got to be. It's a fine line. You want to have a little, it's a fine line. It's like either you do TNA or you do horror, but you got a fine line there if you're mixing them together. So that's where they were butting heads. Right. I wasn't there when it happened. I got the part. I was at it. Okay, last story. I was shooting You Light Up My Life on the lot in Hollywood. It was like I was a bridesmaid, and I got a little part, and I'm on the lot, and we're breaking, and I take a walk out, and I'm walking down, and I run into Alvin Fast, who was a writer whom I met, who thought I had this quality. He wanted to put me in a movie one day, and you hear that a lot. And I run into him, and he goes, "Oh, we're casting this movie over here, and we haven't cast this one part yet. Do you want to come in and read for it?" "Oh, but I'm shooting a movie right here in Studio B." "Well, just come over here and meet the producer." And I keep getting these little information things. Okay, so I go over there and I meet Marty Rustin, and they want me for the part, and it's going to include nudity, and it was a pretty big role. It's going to make me famous and blah blah blah. And I'm going, but I have this part that I'm doing today, right now, but we start shooting tomorrow. I'm going, okay. So I walked down there and I went in and I asked to talk to the assistant director and I said, I just blah 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 blah. He goes, honey, that's fine. You go do it and good luck with that. Because my part wasn't a big major part. It was just one line. So they could just give it to someone else there. So that's how I got eaten alive. See, you never
Wow.
know. You never know. I got stories.
Timing is everything.
Time is
Yep.
everything. And like,
Timing
Jeff
is
Clayton
everything.
of Anti-Scene, he wrote the song Ruby Ruby Get Back to the Hills. And thank you for sending me that out of print album. I'm gonna bring some albums to sell, by the way. I'm gonna bring some Anti-Scene albums to the convention.
Wow.
He said,
Awesome.
that
This
one's out of
one
print.
has
So
this one has
he's
a
gonna
live
send me the
version.
other ones where my picture's on the inside cover, and I'm gonna sell
Wow.
them at the convention in San Antonio. Anyway, Jeff wrote that song "Ruby Ruby Get Back to the Hills" because he loved me in Hills 1 and Hills 2. He didn't like me and then my designer clothes. He wanted back in my leather. And I wanted to get back more to her too. When we got to the desert, I was trying to become more Ruby again, and they limited me with what they had me wear, and I should have fought harder for my wardrobe, but I became her. Like I'm sniffing the air. Remember, I'm sniffing the air,
Yes.
and I had that big fight with Pluto, and I became
Yes.
more Ruby. Yeah, I wanted to become
Oh
more,
yeah.
get more wild, have more wildness come out of me. But it was hard because I had these little tailored shirts on and tailored pants, and you know. But that was my good first fight scene I ever had. I never had a fight scene before.
It was a cool fight
So
scene
Michael's
too.
going to join me. Michael's going to join me at Mockingbird Lane. So he called me. He wanted to come join me, and I said, okay.
That's awesome. I can't
Yeah,
wait
if
for
anybody
that show.
goes on my webpage, on my fan page, Janus Blythe - Scream Queen on Facebook,
Okay.
and
Facebook.
there's Big Cartel's my store, and they order an autographed 8x10. Because if they mention your show, your podcast, I'll give them a $5 discount
Oh,
Sounds
awesome. Okay.
Guys out
off
there,
the cost of the
you gotta take
8x10.
advantage of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know how I'm going to work that out, because it probably has to be the total. I don't know how I'm going to work it out, but I'll work it out.
Yeah, definitely.
If they have to
Yeah,
pay,
that's
because
awesome.
you pay through PayPal and all that stuff, and it has to be the amount that's there. So I'm not sure if I'm opening my mouth without checking this out. But if I have to put $5 in with the photo, I will, to send back to the person. I don't know, but I'll make sure that it's $5 off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you. That's really good. I know Henry will be there in
Yep.
Texas. I'm not. I'm in Alabama, but he'll be there. But I definitely want a copy of the album, so I'll coordinate with Henry on this one. So
Okay.
Definitely.
yes.
Definitely.
So yes, most definitely. But yeah.
Okay, good. I asked
We'll,
Cindy today if she thought the albums would sell, and she said, "Yeah, we have a lot of rock and rollers that are going to be at this."
Oh, definitely.
At this convention,
Yeah.
and I went, okay, because at first Jeff said he's just going to give me a couple. He didn't want me to have to deal with having it. We're going to ship it ahead of time, and she said no, they'll sell. So I think it's only going to be $20 an album, so that's pretty cheap.
There you go.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there you go.
Yep.
Well, Henry will be there. And I'll make sure he's got
There you go.
he's set up.
Yep. I got this. I sent this to
I
you,
know.
and you signed it, and you mailed it back to me. This is
Yeah.
from Eating Alive.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely. Yeah, we will also include all the information in our descriptions as well,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
so that way
my
everybody will know.
Mockingbird Lane, my fan page, and my Big Cartel store. There's only 5 photos available, or 6 photos. Two different Hills Have Eyes. A close-up Hills Have Eyes with a snake, or a full body shot. Full body shot is the most popular one, because the next step is you have to pay for having more product, and so I'm going to do that. But right now there's 5. But if somebody wants a specific photo and they don't see it on the Big Cartel page, if they just send me an email and we can discuss it, because I've got hundreds of different pictures.
Awesome.
Okay.
I probably
That
have
is
10
awesome.
to choose from for the Hills Have Eyes,
Yeah. So
the scene that you like with Grandpa, I've got Ruby all dressed up. I got those.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
They're
yeah.
not on the page because I only can do 5 for free.
Right. So at this convention, you'll have photos as well. You'll have signed photos as well in Texas.
Well, that's what I'm going to be doing there is signing photos. I'm sorry,
Yeah, signed photos.
albums is just a
Okay.
little add-on.
Add on. Okay. So I will. I'll put my faith in Henry to procure a picture and an album. It
Okay.
would be greatly appreciated. Yes, most definitely. I have some room on my walls of skulls and mayhem in my recording studio, so we'll add it somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you
But
got a
that.
recording studio, yes.
Yeah. Oh
And I
yeah.
did
Yeah.
a soundbite on a most recent album for Anti-Scene. Um, what a mess. That was my line. So I have a
Oh
soundbite on
yeah.
this current release, but they got my photograph in the open, and you open up the album in Ruby Ruby Get
Oh
Back to the
cool.
Hill. And he sang the song and held up a poster of Ruby every time he performed. And I said, I never heard of this. I never met him. I didn't know it existed. Last story.
Wow.
Okay. I was in Ohio at a convention, and I'm taking a break and going up to my room. This girl gets on the elevator with me, and I'm looking at her. She's right across from me. And I look at her purse, and my face is on her purse. I go, why is my face on your purse? She goes, oh, well, and she tells me all the story about Anti-Scene, Jeff Clayton, the song, and these are stickers, and it says Anti-Scene. It has me with my snake, and those are stickers that he was, and we'd never met. I never knew it existed. He's like a punk band, the kind of the slam dancing. I mean, they were really not my
Oh
type of
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
But nobody
That
in
was
Hollywood
me.
ever said to me, oh, by the way, never, ever. And so she put me in touch with him, and then we just became best friends, and he's the one who designed my fan page. He's the one who did the drawing he did for the sticker, the
Okay.
Hillside
Wow.
sticker with
Wow.
snake. I mean, he's very, very talented artist too. And because I said, I want a fan page, but I don't want to have to run it. He goes, I'll do it. I said, you will? And then I said, eventually I'll probably want to take over because I'm too much of I want to control it. Yeah, so he started it all, and he got me going,
Okay.
and now it's all because of him.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
That is
That's
so
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I'm an old punk rocker from Jersey actually. So I played CB's, Max's, and all those clubs back in the day. That's kind of where my music background comes from. But now I'm thinking a bit of everything. But
So you know about
so,
Anti-Scene then?
yeah, and
Great.
so that was kind of my background, So, but anyway, then of course, as you progress, you're there.
That's
you go.
the sticker.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
You got one when I sent you your picture.
Yes.
Everyone who orders an 8x10 gets one of these.
That's
stickers.
cool.
They're on guitar cases. They're on bumper stickers. They're on
Oh yeah.
walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has my
Wow.
signature and my snake. And by the way, that's the most deadliest rattlesnake in Northern America. It's called
Yes.
Mojave Green. Yeah.
Mojave Green. Yes. As a matter of fact,
Wow.
I was gonna ask
Okay,
you
guys, I'm getting a little. My throat's it's off today, a little sore today.
That's
So
okay.
I think I've talked enough.
That's
I was
okay.
I was just gonna ask one more question and then we can wrap it up and land
Yeah,
the
wrap it
plane.
up. Sure.
Just
As
Yeah.
long as it's not a
one more
long
thing.
answer.
No.
No.
How did they talk you into picking up that snake in the first place? Because
That's
that's
a
a
long
big
answer.
snake.
That's a long answer.
Okay.
We'll save
All
that for
right.
another podcast.
We'll save that for
Yeah.
another one. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We definitely
Yeah,
have
part
to
2.
have you.
We'll do part 2.
We'll do
Oh,
part
most
two.
Because that's
We'll
a
definitely
big
have you
story.
on it.
Because that's a big story.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Well, okay.
Well-
We're gonna have to have you back again.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure.
And I want everybody to
Just,
know that I did not. Somebody put out there that I retired or stepped away from the business. Somebody wrote it, and when somebody writes something, it's like it goes out there in the world. It becomes like it's not true.
Oh, okay.
I never
no.
quit acting. I never said no. I'm an actress to the day I die. Anybody has any parts, let me know. I mean, I do my podcast, I do my conventions, but I'd love to get in front of the camera again, for sure.
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
Well, it's been.
And I finally
It's
got
been
a
an
personal
absolute.
appearance of manager. I got a manager, Cindy Mancini, as my personal appearance of manager. So I'll be doing more conventions. I love my fans. They're just fantastic. They're the life of movies. Without fans, there's no movies. Period.
There's nothing. That's
There's nothing.
correct.
They're everything,
That's
and they're so faithful.
Right.
They are loyal,
Right.
faithful, and they just fill my heart. They just, I just, what, the 6-year-old come up to me and go, I've seen your movies. I went, you're 6. How can you have seen my movies? They don't scare me. I said, I can't watch Chucky. That scares me. And his mom and dad are back, like, they're like going, because they were big fans, and he grew up watching those movies. They don't faze him, and I think that's a really good thing to do. You won't traumatize. Right. Some kids get traumatized because they keep it from them. Well, this kid grew up with it in the background as a baby. She probably was breastfeeding and watching the movies, and so 6 years old, he's not scared. I'm going, okay. I still haven't seen Chucky. I just won't see Chucky. It just freaks me out, the idea of Chucky. The doll gonna kill you. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure
to
awesome. Have you on and to meet you. And we'll certainly try to coordinate, to talk again. And then Henry will see you at the convention.
When does this air?
I'll take a few days to get it edited, and I'll have it out.
Okay.
But and then Henry will obviously be at the convention. So
yes.
I know
he'll right. And I'm looking forward to picking up some great swag, so the album and some pictures and good stuff. But listen, fantastic meeting you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had the Hills Have Eyes t-shirts at one point, but I sold out of those Black Friday, so I don't have any t-shirts. And they're hard to travel with. That's a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of weight.
Oh, I'll never do that again. I did that once, and oh my goodness, that was.
I'm telling you. Well, thank
All
you.
right, guys.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for being, on our show. I will see you on the 20. I believe my tickets are for the 28th. So
okay,
I will see you March 28th.
I'm gonna arrive early, by the way. I'm gonna be doing some tour stuff with Cindy, so she's gonna take me to the Alamo and everything. Yeah. So I'm covered by that. I'm covered there. Yeah.
That's great. All righty. Yeah. Well,
you're taking me to some kind of snake farm or something too. You got some kind of snake farm.
Yeah, I know where that's at. That's near. It's kind of in between San Antonio and New Braunfels, Texas. But
I'm gonna take a lot of pictures there. Is it?
It's pretty hip. But
all right, guys, I love you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
love
much.
You too. Thank you.
And we will see you
bye.
in the next video.